Good morning, good morning. I'm Steve Reinharz, CEO of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. This is our weekly update. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, add some comments. I read most all the comments. I respond to a ton of them. I love being interactive with you. So please like, subscribe, share, do all those good things. Okay, this week, this is a big one. So please settle in, buckle up, listen to this one. We're going to talk a little bit about the team and why that's important with some very specific items attached to that. We're going to do a quick recap on the week, which was a big week. A quick recap because you guys all know if the information's out there, I'm less interested in repeating it. I'm more interested in moving forward. But there's some big things that happened this week that I want to bring attention to. We're going to talk a little bit more about sales. I'm going to give you some really cool opportunities that we've got verbals on so that we can track it together because there's a lot of opportunities here. Steve, what about this one? What about this one? And I give you the update. So we're gonna kind of stock that funnel a little bit more than we have. We're gonna talk about our New York event and weapon detection, or gun detection rather. Very important distinction, gun detection. I'll give you a quick update on Project S and we'll talk about the economy. Okay, so we have some amazing fans, and one of them is from Brooklyn, and he's incredibly smart, incredibly entertaining. I love his style, and I'm wearing this hat because he has one, and this is the hat that he wears. And I'm prepping up for the video today, and I'm watching one of his videos because it's rolls and sequence as I'm watching YouTube, and he has a great line in there. And I'm going to repeat that line and give him some props here. But he said, what matters is we execute. And he's exactly right. This is exactly what's important, is that we execute. It's less about the hype online. It's more about what are we really doing? So maybe hype, plays into some pumps and dumps or, other things that happen on the OTC. Obviously not with us, if I can control it. But the point of the matter is let's talk about what we're executing at AITX. Ultimately, we're rewriting and modernizing an industry that's so entrenched in its silos and so lacking of creativity in tech and execution that we're the catalyst and hopefully the winner as we bring inevitable changes to security and facilities, how they're managed. And as that gains widespread adoption, we win. So to do that, we need great engineers and software developers. And this is a real strong point for us. I believe we have the best. We're sitting at about 85 team members. We just brought on our first full-time writer. So I have a writer on retainer that we use for a lot of the different things that we do. But now we have a full-time in-house writer. She's not writing press releases or anything like that. I do that with Doug. And some input from legal from time to time. She's doing technical writing, customer service, a very, very, very cool role. I'm bringing it to the attention because she's a superstar, like most everybody on our team. 85 people, really, really strong. A couple that, whatever we're working with, but that's normal. We're never going to have full, perfect harmony across the team, but I couldn't be happier with our team. Our top performers, our superstars, everybody's amazing. Anyway, know that to build transformation, you need great engineers, vision, software developers. We have that. One of the things we've got to do is, a new video management system optimized for cellular. We're upgrading it. We have to be compliant with what the Fortune 10 needs. Fortune 10 and Fortune 100 are so important, and I know a lot of investors follow this carefully because they generally adhere to the highest standards in cyber and compliance and all those rules. So if you could play with them, if you could be in that market with them, that means that you're on their level. And that's where we're at. And that's where we're going to keep being at. In any case, summing it up, if we build it, they will come. And to that item, I need you just to kind of put a pin in that. We're going to talk about Tom and Rio a a little bit further in the conversation here, okay? In any case, the point is we need great tech to execute, and we're building great tech. It takes a little bit of time. There's some stumbles along the way, but we're on the right path. The next thing that we need to do along the themes of executing is getting better every day. Every day. I had a boss tell me once, 20, 25 years ago, listen, just focus on getting a little better every day, and then over time, you look back and you're like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I'm saying that philosophy of just focusing on something, identify something that makes you a little better at some point of your job or your life every day. And the cumulative effects become apparent in a short period of time. Okay, so this is how we're executing from a very high level, and big props to my guy out of Brooklyn. Weekly recap. Now, I normally don't do weekly recaps because, again, I say go read the press releases, right? But we issued the K. The details settled in. Market responded with some increase in volume, which I'm very grateful for, which we should all be grateful for, that liquidity. So I think that's good. And it feels to me that we're well positioned from a stock standpoint. I really, really, really want to bring this market cap up significantly over time, and it takes time and hard work. We're on the right track, and we have your support, which really makes the difference. This week, we filed to uplist to the QB. Yay, QB. Now listen, I've said it before, I can't necessarily, get behind a QB bringing us so much more advanced liquidity and investors and so forth. I still say that getting to the 10-cent mark or getting back to the 10-cent mark is what's going to drive an increased liquidity. But nonetheless, it's a promise that I made to you to do, so we did. They responded to us almost immediately. I actually got an email from them this morning as well. And on the one hand, they say, hey, expect this process to take some time because we're super busy. Fair enough. I get it. We all are. Great. And then at the same time, they've been snappy on their responses and interactions. So I'm very, very happy about that. We're going to keep on this track, giving, same-day responses across the board. Hopefully get that QB on our ticker sooner rather than later. We also kind of added some color throughout the week about our New York live demo event. I want to lead off and say it is not for investors. Retail investors, I love you. You know that. We might do something else in New York while I'm there, but this event is not for you. This event is for folks that can influence purchasing decisions, because generally speaking, there's not one person in any organization that really makes a decision. It's a lot of community-based or committee-based decision-making, as well as promotion. So our end users, dealers, media, politicians, and so forth, that's who's we want to come to this event. Okay, retail investors will do something else. We're going to New York. We're showing our gun detection analytic, and gun detection has been out for a while, and it's been on our roadmap for several years as well, but I haven't pushed it. And there's a couple of reasons why I haven't pushed it or put it into the queue or raised its priority in the queue until recently. And by queue, I mean the list of development projects that, we got to chip away at. It was kind of like a little bit of denial. I didn't want to bring, acknowledgement or credibility to the situation by investing in a solution in it. But the reality is I think we need to now, and it's a sad reflection, but it's the case. So in any case, gun detection is coming. There's a couple images here for you, just some early images on it. But the big thing about this, what I want you to get behind, is that there is no solution that I'm aware of that can deliver gun detection, human-machine interaction, all the things that we do in an install that's 30 minutes or less and requires nothing from the client except for power. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist to my knowledge. Today, to do it, you got to have cameras, you got to go to a server and a switch and maybe the cloud and get processed, and it's a whole infrastructure project, but not with RAD. That's why we invest so much in tech. That's why we're revolutionizing security and facilities management processes. It's because of how we deal with fourth industrial revolution technologies. And if you follow me, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't follow me that deeply, hey, 30 minutes or less, you've got gun detection on your wall in your school, in your building, and that's amazing. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna promote that through the New York event on June 30th. Now let's talk about sales. We internally call it waiting on ink. Getting close to ink. I got the verbal. Verbal's great. I need ink. I need the ink on the paper. So talking yesterday with our team and going through some of these opportunities that we're waiting on ink from. One of them is the multi-unit, that we got the verbal from about a month ago. We had expected to get the PO by the end of May. Listen, they brought in one more consultant that wants to vet us. No problem. We're happy we've been vetted so many times by so many people. It's not an issue. So I expect that PO to come in shortly after that final vetting, which is supposed to be this week. A couple major auto manufacturers are all over us with proposals in front of them that we need signatures on. Got the verbals. Large beverage manufacturers, some really big things happening with these particular guys. Large utility, another large utility rather. Couple of colleges in the queue, mid-sized city. That's all good. I love it. We're going to chip away. We're going to fight. We're going to do what we got to do. But we're strengthening our major guarding company relationships, which is really important. Because they're in crisis. They're in a labor crisis. We're strengthening relationships. I expect this year that at least one of the big four goes very public with us. Very, very, very public with us. So that's something we're working on all four. But one of them has kind of risen to the top. So that's really, really exciting for us. I'm very, very happy about it. Obviously, and I hope you are too. Small box retail verbals, regional hospital, just a little snapshot into all the different verticals we're working and into how much people like us, need us, and want us. The regional hospital chief security officer was just mesmerized, blown away, incredibly supportive. It was a really cool moment, from me personally, as one of the guys making this all happen. I was like, this guy gets it, loves it, is going to bring these benefits to his organization and beyond. So that was really cool. Project S. Maybe next week. I know. Okay. I know. I've said that for a few weeks. Maybe next week. Again, it's a fun project. I think it's really cool. And you're going to have fun with it. So it's not like, hey, I got to get these units out to this customer, or I got to do this, I got to do that. You know what I mean? It's a little different in the priority list. You'll understand when it comes out, and I know our fans are going to like it, and hopefully the potential that I see behind this project could be realized. Anyway, this week, I hope. As soon as it's ready, it's coming out. And Friday, we finished a bunch of testing that needed to happen. So I think this week is the week, but I don't know. Anyway, stay tuned. Rio and Tom, man, we're running along on time here. Rio and Tom, the interesting thing that I want to share about these devices is that RAD and AITX in general, we're creating new things, right? New ways of doing old things. And it's very exciting. It's all part of the revolution that's happening with tech and life and society right now. But Rio and Tom attack in a much more direct way existing processes and existing purchases. So whereas a Rosa is hey, instead of doing a camera this way, we're going to do it this way. It's going to be all inclusive and it's going to be awesome, right? There's a little bit of bridge of education we have to do there. Rio and Tom, different. Rio and Tom, anybody in the industry, anybody who purchases can take a look and say, oh, I get it. Yep, that's significantly better. Let's do it. That's what we're working on with Rio and Tom. Really cool. So, okay, I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that and you know about it and you can track it. Last item on this relatively long Saturday. Listen, it's a big one. There's lots to share. I need to share it with you. This week, I'm going to release a piece that I wrote with my writer about the inflation and economy. and specifically about interest rates and, recession and those kinds of things. And I'll give you a hint. I think that these interest rate increases are negative and destructive and regressive. And my piece explains why. My piece explains why we need greater vision and courage at the leadership levels for the benefit of all. So in any case, that's the tease. That's the tease today. I hope everyone's going to have a great weekend. Be safe, share, engage. Thanks, everybody.